Hello and welcome back to Inspiration with Milambo. My name is Milambo Mizinga and I'm your business and personal finance coach. Now today I want to talk about a subject that I love to talk about. The question is, are you rich or do you only appear rich? You see, we're living in the day and era of social media where everybody on social media is rich. Everybody on social media appears rich. And now, instead of actually putting in the time, the effort, and the money to become rich, people are focusing on just appearing rich. And according to society, the way society views things, the way people view things and make conclusions, they look at appearance and call those people rich. So you see that somebody who lives a flashy, flamboyant and lavish lifestyle will be called rich by society because that's how they appear. But when it comes to reality, when you close the doors at night and it's just you and your family, you have to ask yourself the question, are you rich? Or do you only appear rich? Is this all for just the people on social media, or in the long run is it about you and your family? How are you making decisions with your money? There are so many people that I coach who actually have large amounts of money that come into their accounts every single week, every single month, but who really don't have anything to show for it at the end of the year because they don't know where the money goes. They can't account for their expenses. They're living a lavish lifestyle. They're appearing rich out there, but they are actually not creating any net worth. So it's not about your appearance, it's about your net worth. That is what determines whether you're rich or not. It's not about what people see on social media. It's not about the fancy car you drive or your latest iPhone or your flamboyant house which you rent or the car, the fancy cars like I mentioned before, which you drive. It's not about any of that. It's about your net worth. When we compare your income generating assets with liabilities in your balance sheet, what is the difference? What is their net worth? When we subtract the two, what are you left with? Whatever that figure is, that is your net worth. And for many people, their net worth is very, very low because they don't take the time to actually invest their money in income generating assets. Instead, they try to live a luxurious lifestyle straight out of their income. They don't realize that there's actually a correct and wrong way to buy luxuries. Now let me give an illustration. I always love to give an illustration of this because it helps people understand what I'm talking about. So let's look at this MD or this CEO of a very big bank. Okay, so let's call him Mr. Simumba. Okay, Mr. Raymond Simumba. He's got a family, he's got kids. They live in a very beautiful house in a high income area. They have 3 fancy cars. They go on holiday in Malaysia and in Paris and in New York, every year. And they're the largest contributor at their family events. They live this beautiful, flamboyant lifestyle which society calls rich. But this man, Mr. Simumba, hasn't bought any assets. So instead, all this lavish lifestyle is being financed straight by his salary. So what happens if his salary comes to an end today or tomorrow because either he falls sick, he's involved in an accident, or God forbid he dies? What happens to him and his family? It means instantly all that just comes to an end. Now, while I was teaching on this one time, somebody actually told me what happened to her. So this woman was married to this very wealthy man. He had a very high paying job, and what happened was that they used to live in this very, very big house. It was a mansion, and they had all the cars, they had all the gadgets, they had all the house helps. they used to go on holiday, very, very luxurious holidays. And the woman wasn't working, she was taking care of the kids at home because, she was very confident and comfortable with the lifestyle. And the man didn't even require her to work because he was able to provide more than enough of what she required. So, they were both very, very comfortable, and they were still young. The man was just in his early 40s. One day she receives news that her husband has just died of a heart attack. It was so very sudden. So after the funeral, the woman goes to the family lawyer to say, okay, so how's our financial situation? Where are the assets? What am I inheriting? What am I getting? And the man says nothing, like absolutely zero. So she was confused because she was thinking to herself, okay, we had so much money, we had all this stuff. Obviously, we are a rich family, so where is the money? The man said, well, your husband was financing your flamboyant lifestyle entirely from his salary. He didn't buy any assets. He didn't invest in anything. So now that he's dead, they're done. And they had to move out of that big house. The woman had to start looking for a job. She had long forgotten where her CV was, where her application letters were. Now she had to start thinking about, okay, where do I find a job? How do I feed my family? They moved from being a very high income family to being a poor family because the woman couldn't even make ends meet for herself and her children. So when I talk about this, it's something that's very important. I'm not just trying to put people down and say, oh, you're not rich, you just appear rich. It's because I'm very concerned about the future of your family and your own future. It's not always that it's death. Sometimes it's a loss of a job. Sometimes people get sick, people are involved in different things, and so a salary is a very temporary thing. So you need to be able to invest it in something which will be able to generate income in the longer term. So when we come back to Mr. Simumba, what kind of ideas, what kind of coaching would I give him if he came to me? The first thing is cut back on your luxurious lifestyle and start saving up some money. And once you do that, once you start living on less than you earn, you'll be able to have money that you can put in income generating assets. You can either build or buy some real estate properties. You can invest in some stocks. You can invest in a business. You can buy land. You can buy a farm. So there are so many things that you can actually invest your money in so that it can start to generate income even long after you're dead, long after you retire, long after you are fired or your contract ends. You still have an income. You'll not spend everything that you're making on your lavish lifestyle. Remember, there is tomorrow. And many times people actually have these ideas of, I will start investing, I will start buying assets, but they never really get to it because they keep thinking, well, I'll start next month, after all money will come. I'll start 2 months from now, after all money will come. And this thought of money will come moves them from thinking I'll start next month to, okay, this is now 5 years later, okay, this is now 10 years later. Before they know it, it's been 15 years and they still haven't started buying assets because they're so comfortable that money will come. So I can start next month, I can start the other month, I can start whenever because money will come. They're so complacent, they're so comfortable. So even when they have the plans and the ideas to actually invest the money, they never really get to it because they don't have that sense of agency. You have to create the sense of agency for yourself because assets also need time to grow. They need time to develop for them to actually start generating income. So if you are in this situation or you ever find yourself in this situation, remember